Good evening and welcome to the Buck Stops. Here, an interest rate cut that cuts like a knife after being forced to roll back on the tax it was planning to levy on the Employees Provident Fund in the next financial year. The latest shocker, the government has slashed interest rates on government savings schemes like the Public Provident Fund, National Savings Certificates and others as well by 0.7%, the sharpest cut in 15 years. This will make a huge dent in tax-free earnings for small investors in government schemes and predictably has met with extremely angry reactions. Why has the government done this? How will the cut translate in real terms? But first, of course, before we go to our main discussion, several political developments today. First up, a look at the BJP's poll strategy. Its national executive has met ahead of 5 assembly polls that are coming up in the next few weeks, with a clear mission to win and make inroads into areas where so far the BJP has had very little political presence. My colleague Siddharth Pandey joins us for more. Siddharth, presumably this has been about creating some kind of a poll strategy for the assembly elections. There's also been some comments by the party president Amit Shah on how there has to be a concerted effort against anti-national trends in the country. Tell us what's going on.
Well, that's right. Today, in fact, they looked at the larger contour of things. In fact, getting the message across is what really Amit Shah was stressing upon today, saying that, a stronger party will also mean a stronger government. He also said that we need to ensure that the workers of the party, their views are taken into account. And it's very important that the leadership of the BJP, the workers, take out this message, take back this message that the government is very serious about social issues. Just to, in fact, put that in perspective, let me just show you one of the posters out here, clearly, in fact, highlighting that, ending hunger is one of the priorities of the government. The Modi government, of course, came to power on that big ticket of, development. But, of course, they want to emphasize that ensuring social justice schemes is equally important for the government. So, in fact, that's something that Amit Shah talked about, saying that it's important to take all this and also using social media to get that message out. He also talked about the fact that the opposition is going to criticize. It's the job of the opposition to do so. But clearly that should not really, I think, take away the focus from of the party and the government from really concentrating on the agenda. Tomorrow is going to be an important day. The Prime Minister will speak here at the National Executive. They will be talking about the upcoming polls in various states. That will be discussed at length. So, in fact, that's an important day that's coming up. But today, in fact, touching on the larger contours of what the party leadership and the workers need to be doing.
Right, Siddharth. Thanks very much for joining us with that report on the BJP's National Executive that is currently underway. Let's move on to the political developments in Uttarakhand. There is finally some reprieve for the Chief Minister Harish Rawat. The governor has given him time until the 28th of March to prove his majority. This after he's been faced with a rebellion from within the Congress party's ranks in Uttarakhand, as well as the BJP, who went and asked for the government to be dismissed. They were taking claim to form a government as well in front of the governor last night.
A day after the BJP met the governor with 9 Congress MLAs in tow, asking for the dismissal of the Harish Rawat-led Congress government in Uttarakhand, it was a wait-and-watch game as the MLAs stayed at this 5-star hotel on the Delhi-Gurgaon border, with the BJP top brass busy with its national executive meeting in the capital.
वो लोकतांत्रिक मर्यादाओं का, लोकतंत्र का गला घोट रहे हैं। खरीद फरोख्त करने का धंधा उन्होंने प्रदेश के अंदर शुरू कर दिया है। हमने 9 विधायकों को नोटिस दिया है, 9 विधायकों ने अगेंस्ट वोट किया है, तो सरकार तो स्वतः ही चली गई।
कांग्रेस के लोग आए और उन्होंने कहा कि हरीश रावत जी की सरकार है, बहुत भ्रष्टाचार कर रही है, तानाशाह सरकार है, क्या आप हमारी मदद करेंगे?
The governor has now written a letter to the Chief Minister asking him to prove his majority on the floor of the House by the 28th of March. The Congress meanwhile has alleged that the BJP wants to do a repeat of Arunachal Pradesh in the small state, and the Chief Minister says he's ready for a floor test.
यस, मेरी गवर्नमेंट के पास मेजॉरिटी है। मैं विधानसभा के पटल पर अपना बहुमत सिद्ध करूंगा। यदि मेरे पास बहुमत नहीं होगा, हाथ जोड़ करके महामहिम राज्यपाल के पास जा करके अपना पत्र प्रस्तुत कर दूंगा। मतलब हमारा आचरण कोई भाजपा जैसा नहीं है, लेकिन भाजपा ने जो आचरण दिखाया बिल्कुल साफ है कि पैसे की ताकत से सत्ता की ताकत से और गुंडागर्दी से ये सब कुछ हो रहा है।
सर, क्या अध्यक्ष जी ने कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत के नारे की बात की, जिस तरह से अरुणाचल प्रदेश में फिर उत्तराखंड में बीजेपी करी, क्या कांग्रेस मुक्त?
ऐसा है, अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी अपनी सरकार को नहीं संभाल सकती है तो वो दायित्व हमारा नहीं है।
But what happens to the rebels, and can the party take action against them? Even though the rebel Congress MLAs are openly seen with the BJP, the speaker says they voted on the state budget with the government and will be asked to clarify where they stand.
जब वो 9 विधायक अपनी स्थिति को साफ करेंगे, वो स्पष्ट ये तय करेंगे कि हम विधानसभा सदस्य के रूप में अब किस दल में हैं, हमारी स्थिति क्या है। अगर किसी दल का कोई सदस्य अगर अपने दल से तोड़ करके दूसरे दल में जाता है तो उस दल की संख्या का 2/3 अगर एक साथ नहीं जाता है तो वो दल बदल कानून उस पर लागू होता है।
Party colleagues till last evening, bitter rivals now. The governor has now put in place a deadline to end the political battle in Uttarakhand. In Dehradun, with camera person Hira Mandal, Antonima Biswas and Sunil Prabhu in Delhi, Ketki Angre for NDTV.
And now on to our focus for tonight, the government's decision to slash interest rates in the Public Provident Fund and other national savings schemes. What does it mean for India's middle class, the self-employed, the salaried who are trying to save in government schemes assured of tax-free interest savings? What will this mean for them?
79-year-old Renu Talwani survives on her husband's savings. He died of cancer 4 years ago. Now, with government's decision to reduce interest rates on savings and taxing Provident Fund withdrawals, there's much less money and hard times ahead for Renu. She fears for her life.
I don't know whether I have that much time on this earth anymore, so I can't take a risk. I go in for 1-year deposit or maximum 2-year deposit. I think I'll have to make a lot of lifestyle changes also. And main thing that I spend money on is my security. And if I have to cut down on that, that's going to hit me real hard.
PPF, a popular scheme among middle-class savers, the cut is the sharpest in nearly 15 years. Interest rates on PPF have been reduced from 8.7% to 8.1%. Senior Citizen Savings Scheme interest have been cut from 9.3% to 8.6%. Post office deposit for 1-year term reduced from 8.4% to 7.1%. The opposition are calling the government anti-poor, anti-middle class and even anti-woman.
Special dispensation for old people, even that has not been spared. So I think it's an overall attack on the livelihood and savings of the people. People are understanding the meaning of Achhe Din because they are forced to go through what we call the बुरा हाल।
मंत्री जी किस हिंदुस्तान की बात कर रहे हैं? ना गरीबों का कहीं कोई फायदा हो रहा है, प्रो फार्मर बजट करके ना फार्मर पे कुछ मिला है, ना एमएसपी बढ़ा है, जो मध्यम वर्ग के उस पर टैक्स लादे चले जा रहे हैं।
Even the trade union, closely affiliated to the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, widely acknowledged as BJP's mentor, not too happy with the move.
बच्चे की शिक्षा के लिए, मकान के लिए कुछ ना कुछ जोड़ता है या भविष्य को सुरक्षित करने के लिए इस प्रकार की स्कीमें जोड़ता है। अगर वो कमजोर होगा तो देश की अर्थव्यवस्था कमजोर ही नहीं होगी, डूबने की स्थिति में जाएगी।
The rate cut comes at a time when the middle class has largely become very comfortable using equity mutual funds as an attractive savings tool. But senior citizens and women who are protected by products like the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana are the ones who will be facing the brunt of this interest cut. With camera person Tom Joseph, Snigdha Basu, NDTV.
Well, joining me to break this down a little further so we all understand what this means for the common man, we're being joined from the BJP by their spokesperson and banker P.N. Vijay. From the Congress, we have Madhu Yakshi Gaud, their spokesperson, joining us from Hyderabad. The left's Nilotpal Basu is with us. There's been a tremendous opposition from the left as well to this new tax. And we have with us an economist from Mumbai, Ajit Ranade, as well, joining us from our Mumbai studios. Thank you all very much for being with us. P.N. Vijay, I'm going to actually open this with you because let the others respond. We've seen some of the reactions from the Aam Aadmi really who's invested in these schemes. This is a huge cut for certain groups who are looking at ways to save tax, ways to preserve their income, looking at a little bit of money at the end of their working life. Why has the government done this?
Well, I'm happy that NDTV gave me an opportunity, because I'd like to explain to the middle class people what the actual situation is, because the opposition will always oppose it, but I expect the media to be a bit non-partisan on this. I'd like you to draw the attention of a speech made by Mr. Chidambaram in the IMF World Bank meet in the fall of 2013, when he said that it was one of his dearest wishes that administered government rate should come down, because they are having a tremendously negative impact on the economy. But he couldn't do it because inflation was at 9–10%. Now, why Chidambaram said that and why we are also following that route is, let me explain this to you, Maya.
Yeah.
For example, let's take this supposedly suffering middle class family, which has put in about 2 lakhs in a PPF every year. The normal average PPF investment is about 60,000, but even say, let me say 2 lakhs. They will lose about 1,000 rupees in interest rates. But then if you think that a middle class family has, with EMIs and kharch for dal roti, about 50,000 a month, which is about 6 lakhs a year, this will surely reduce by 1% at least. Economists say the multiplier could be even 1.5. So they'll gain about 6,000 due to a reduction in interest rates. So while they lose 1,000, they gain 6,000 in their actual what they spend.
Okay.
Also, what's happening is another point. I just want to make a small point before others respond to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because these interest rates are so high, Maya, the banks are forced to give the same interest rates. Otherwise, they'll be out of business. And because they are giving such high interest rates, they're not able to reduce the lending rates, even though RBI has reduced it 1.25% in the last 1 year.
So the argument that the centre is making is that...
And because of that, the borrowing costs are high.
Okay, so the argument that you're making is that this will be passed on...
it's a well-known fact among all economists. Yeah, and last point I want to make is, every nation that has grown fast, which has reduced poverty rapidly, has enjoyed low interest rates.
Okay.
So we should think in such terms and not take a wildly bipartisan view
I want our political opponents to come in on this as well. But Ajit Ranade, I want to actually ask you before I go to them. You know, it's one thing to say that when interest rates are cut on loans, that the Aam Aadmi benefits, and now here you have a situation where it's been reversed, where you're basically taking away savings, whether it's 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees is not the point. You're basically cutting into a savings. It's expectedly meeting with some opposition.
Well, Maya, when inflation was at 10% and you were getting 9% on your small savings rates, you're actually earning -1% in real terms, because inflation was taking away the purchasing power that you get through savings. But now that the inflation is down to 5%, perhaps going down to 4.5%, then if the PPF rate is 8.1, in real terms you may actually be ahead. So that's first thing. We need to look at real rates of return net of the inflation rate, and you know, the government and the Reserve Bank of India is committed to a lower inflation rate. Secondly, please remember, all over the world, most of the countries have actually negative interest rates. Eurozone, Switzerland, Denmark, Japan.
Okay.
So India's rates at 6.75, which is the RBI rate, and average borrowing rate of 10 to 11% for home borrowers, are among the highest in the world.
Okay.
We don't want a high cost economy, we want a low cost economy.
Okay. All right.